If you want to radically transform your life and take your health to the next level, click on my Breath is Life course below. This will optimize your breath as well as your meditation. And I'll see you after the video.
What's up, everybody? I'm here with the Certified Health Nut.
Who are you?
And I am Metaphysical Meagan. Thanks for joining us today. I'm going to talk with Troy here about semen retention. And Troy, I hear you mention this sometimes on your page. So what information do you have to share about semen retention, and how long have you been practicing it, or what are the benefits?
Yeah, so the first time someone turned me on to sexual kung fu, it was the white tigress teachings, sexual kung fu, tantra, consciousness really around our sexual energy, Meagan. And so I had no idea. This person, this was another metaphysical woman that I had met. She was a healer, and she told me I was leaking sexual energy, and I had no idea what she was talking about.
Right.
And she told me to get the book, The White Tigress Teachings, which is a very esoteric, ancient Chinese methodology of cultivating your chi, building your chi up. It's the first time I heard about cultivating your chi and building your chi up with sexual energy. And so ultimately the essence of it, to create more chi, the Jing life force energy in Chinese medicine, when you're out of Jing, you're dead, basically. And so what depletes it for women is childbirth and
menstruation.
And menstruation, is it menstruation too? Okay. I know that menstruation also has some positive attributes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For women, and women have only so many eggs, right? And ultimately, men have only so many ejaculations, because what depletes it in men is ejaculation.
Yeah.
So somebody turned me on. That was 2005. So that's 15 years ago. Approximately 15 years ago, I started studying that. And I instantly, there's certain exercises that you have with your genitalia.
Right.
And I thought that, it was all very interesting. And also harnessing and being in control of your sexual energy, I thought was very interesting. And so, and like with any martial arts practice, sexual kung fu is a practice.
Yeah.
And it all depends on, how good you get from practicing and doing your training, whether that's individually and doing your exercises. There's certain stretching and strengthening exercises with the penis.
Right.
Also, you're supposed to roll your balls. I know one of my teachers told me to roll your testicles the amount of age that you are. So
Okay.
I'm 54, and so basically to roll them. But I recently got into another technique called slapping, and basically you're cupping your nuts and slapping them. I usually do it in the cold shower, in the cold water, and it stimulates the chi and the energy of the testicles.
Yeah.
And you also have they call it the golden fluids, I do believe. And so you basically, and there's vascular elements there. You can get vascular impingements, circulatory, which is vascular. So there's nerve endings down there, and this stuff can get stagnant.
Right.
And look, this isn't a foreign concept, guys. We've got, I think if you make it over 60 or 70 years old, your death by prostate cancer is like 70-80%. It's very high.
Wow.
And so prostate cancer is a very real thing right now.
Yeah.
So we want to give a little bit more attention. If you don't want to be a statistic, you want to give a little bit more attention to your genitalia, to your sexual energy. Sexual energy is the most powerful creative force a human being has. Now, nobody taught me this in school.
Yeah.
So I had to figure this out later on in life. And so, so basically, the more I ejaculate, the less energy that's going to give me. And so
Right.
I've learned how to cultivate my own energy. You squeeze the perineum, that makes the muscles stronger, and then you wait till you're at the edge, the precipice of orgasm, and
Yeah.
you squeeze that, and you can bring that energy up through the other chakras, and you
Yeah.
can have a full body orgasm. Or
Wow.
you can have you can be a multi-orgasmic couple.
Yeah.
Have you researched any of that stuff as well?
Yeah, I actually study it and practice it myself, and probably for about the past year or so I've been doing my own sexual kung fu practices, and it's made a huge difference in my cycle and then in my just relationships with my partner and anybody that I'm intimate with. It takes your sex life to the next level.
Yeah, man. You want to talk about sex magic? You want to talk about
Manifestation.
You want to talk about exponential, having a lot of fun. How about that? Let's
Yeah.
just simplify everything, right?
Yeah.
I had so much fun. I started studying this before I got married, and when I pitched it to my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, it was kind of over her head.
Yeah.
And it was a little too difficult. There was a cultural barrier and religious barrier, and she just didn't seem that into it. And then next thing you know, we got pregnant, and then we were focused on parenting and
Right.
being a married couple, and it kind of went to the wayside. It wasn't until we had trouble in our marriage
Wow.
that we got back and started studying sexual kung fu. She started studying Montauk Chia,
Yeah.
all his materials.
Love him.
Took his courses. She's studying with a Taoist master right now, and this stuff is all basic for someone like me, who's into human optimization. And so I just get a little bit and I put it into practice. For me, I could read the books all day long, but unless I'm practicing it, it's like trying to learn how to ride a bike or surfing out of a book. You're never really going to learn until you get right into it. So I do all sorts of exercises for myself, and then when we're practicing, when we're having sex, I work towards that seminal retention.
Yeah.
And the other big thing I wanted to share with your audience, Megan,
Yes.
is that I started practicing. I got off pornography at 100%.
Yes.
And that is huge because my own internal primal animal gets activated. I'm not externally stimulated. I'm stimulated
Yes.
from within.
Right.
And I'm more programmed now, or more apt to love the one I'm with, as opposed to looking for the next best bubble butt around the corner.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Troy, I know you're a proponent of breath work. Do you ever utilize breath work in these practices of semen retention and sexual kung fu? What role does breath work play in that for you?
Well, breath is everything.
Yeah.
So if you're getting heightened and excited, you want to be breathing, you want to be breathing. And I suffered from premature ejaculation my whole life. Nobody taught me anything about sex.
Yeah.
It's kind of that society that we live in, and maybe the world that we live in general. But there wasn't a lot of education for me whatsoever. And so I would get excited. I was circumcised as a kid. That desensitizes men as well.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
so I would get in the old vagina and like, woo, wow, happy, and then back I just crash out and go to sleep.
Right.
And it was like, and it was like I had no idea about extended sexual pleasure, extended sexual play until I got into these practices. And now that I'm off pornography, I remarried my ex-wife and just realized, hey, why don't I just love the one I'm with? And,
amazing.
And now that I'm off pornography, my seminal retention is a lot better. I used to have to really control my mind, work with the breath, try and squeeze. I was using the 3 fingers on the perineum as well. And now I could just hold it and go for hours.
Wow.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
And which, newsflash, guys, by the way, this is why you want a healthy body. Because once you get a taste of how powerful the human body is and how wonderful the sexual energy is when it's cultivated at the highest level, all you want to do is practice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is such helpful information. Thanks for sharing your journey and your practices of sexual kung fu.
Yeah, so I encourage everyone out there to, do your best you can, try and get off porn. Try and get off caffeine and stimulants because that can mess with your hormones too.
Absolutely.
Play around with it. Nobody's perfect, but play around with it, look into it, and study the Montauk Chia, study the Tantra, and start cultivating your energy and bringing it up through the chakras.
Yeah.
And get it into the third eye, and then
that's
cut
how
through the fabric of reality.
Yeah, that's how we experience the portal that sex is to the divine, is through cultivating the sexual energy. We're actually able to have that divine communion where it's an altered state of consciousness, almost like a psychedelic.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Look, I've already had psychedelic experiences with the sexual kung fu with my wife.
Yeah.
And David Data has a great book called Finding God Through Sex.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great book. I haven't heard of it, but I'm going to read it now.
I mean, try it out. It can't hurt, right?
Yeah.
You are a powerful, all-knowing, self-healing child of God.
Yes.
So get some.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.
God bless everybody. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and then check in the description box. All the programs that I have to take your health and consciousness to the next level is in the link below.